How's it going, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys another Top 10 Tuesday. Before we get the video started, check the link down below. Make sure you sub all the guys who started this series. If you haven't yet, all the links will be down there. This week, we are talking Top 10 horror movie cover arts. So VHS covers, posters, theatrical posters, all of it I kind of combined into one and picked 10 of my favorites. This list can change very easily because there are so many good ones out there, but as of right now, these are the ones that are my favorites.
Coming in at number 10, we have Pumpkinhead, and this is actually the original theatrical poster. This is not the VHS cover, that one's different. Something about this poster I've always liked is that it's kind of just a photo. It's not a painting or a drawing. It's literally just a photo. It's like a still from the film. And it's designed really well because it's just giving you a tease. It's like, here's Pumpkinhead's claw. Want to know what's on the other end of it? Are you sure you want to know what's on the other end of it? Because it's pretty goddamn terrifying. And that's just effective to me. It's just a great poster. Coming in at number 9, we have Candyman. And Candyman has always been a very poetic film to me. There's just something about it. And I think this poster actually encapsulates all of that as well, because you kind of just have this weird imagery. You have the close-up of the eye with the bloodshot look to it, Candyman in the reflection of the eye, and there's a goddamn bee on it. What the hell does this all mean? You're not really sure, but you want to know, so that's why it works. Coming in at number 8, we have Maniac. And even way before I'd seen Maniac, I'd seen the Maniac poster. I knew of the Maniac poster. And if you were a horror fan, you probably knew of it too, because it's offensive. It's in your face. It's the quintessential slasher poster. It's probably the best representation of a slasher ever, in my opinion, because it just screams slasher, everything about it. A severed goddamn head is on the cover with a creepy-ass lower body shot of a guy holding a knife with blood, and the fucking title is Maniac, which just screams slasher. It's just an amazing horror poster, and it's one of the best ever, in my opinion. Coming in at number 7, we have I Spit on Your Grave. And although I'm not the biggest fan of the film, I do admit that it is very intense. It is an important film, and it's just downright crazy. But something about the poster always made me, like, fearful of the film. It's like, I'm not supposed to be watching this. You see the poster, and as a kid, I remembered seeing it. And I was just like, I never rented this film because I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to watch something like this. You know, it's the ass shot. It's the tattered clothes. It's I Spit on Your Grave. That is a dirty title. There's just something dirty about this film. And obviously, we can see what that is staring right in front of us. But even as a kid, I always just remembered, even the poster made me feel dirty, and I never rented it for that reason. It just felt out of my league. I wasn't ready for it. I never had any structure on what I was allowed to watch. I never had any rules, but I had my own rules, and I just felt like that wasn't something I was supposed to watch. Coming in at number 6, we have A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. This one is based on pure nostalgia. I just remember renting it a lot every damn weekend almost, and it was that cover, man. I just would get so excited when I saw it. I love The Dream Warriors so much. It's definitely one of my favorite horror films of all time. It's my favorite Elm Street film. It just is the perfect Elm Street film. And the poster, to me, just seeing them standing on Freddy's blades, it's very dreamlike. It just always kind of made me happy when I saw it. And for that reason, it kind of fits into this list. Coming in at number 5, we have Phantasm. And this one, I think, does a great job of capturing the nightmare logic of the film, because it's just kind of a mess of curious images. Phantasm, the title itself, I wouldn't even know what it meant if it hadn't been for the film defining it for me. It's just one of those that I just love to look at. It's so creepy to me. The tall man, the ball, you know, the Jawa dwarfs. Very good stuff here. Phantasm is an awesome poster. Coming in at number 4, we have Stephen King's Children of the Corn. And I had rented this film so many times, and I'd seen that VHS cover art so many times throughout my life and childhood. And there was one thing that I didn't notice about the poster until I was in my teens. And if you look really closely in the cornfield, you can actually see a bunch of kids with their glowing eyes. And I thought it was so creepy when I seen that one day, because I never noticed it, and I couldn't believe that they were right there the whole time holding scythes, and I'd never seen them. And it kind of blew my mind, because, that kind of represents the film to the fullest. All these creepy kids out in the corn that you don't know are out there. So after that day, it's just became one of my favorite cover arts, and it's just the red and the black. It just fits so well. I love the cover art to Children of the Corn. Coming in at number 3, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Obviously, this is a spoof on the classic Breakfast Club poster, but at the time, I had never seen the Breakfast Club nor the Breakfast Club poster. So to me, this was completely original. I didn't get the comedic side of it, and I just loved it. I just loved how terrifyingly creepy this family was, just sitting there on the cover, looking all dead, and even Chop Top looks dead. I don't know what it is about this one, just very nostalgic for me. And it's one that I always love to see on the VHS rack. Coming in at number 2, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I had forgot how much I loved this poster until I was scrolling through looking at posters, and I stopped on it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is horror. I kind of forgot that. I've always said that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the best representation of horror ever, and the poster is another reason why. That is horror, what you're looking at. That absolutely is what horror was, what it was meant to be, and it's just horrifying. The whole image there is just terrifying, and to me that's what horror originally was, and to me that's kind of why I got into it, was that image right there. That was what I was looking for when I entered into the world of horror, and that's why it's such a great poster. Coming in at number 1, we have all of the Friday the 13th posters, and I honestly, let me explain why I kind of cheated on this. And it's because alone, none of these posters are that great. But when you combine them all and slap them on a VHS box art and you line them all up in a video store, that is something truly epic. That is something amazing to see. And I feel bad for the people who didn't get to experience that, because that was one of the best images I've seen in my entire life, was seeing all of those Friday the 13ths lined up in a video store and renting them week after week. I just loved the sight of it. Just walking around the corner, and there they were, just staring at me, and it's just so amazing. Like, combined, all of them combined makes up just the best artwork ever, in my opinion. I mean, obviously they're not that good in terms of like true artistry. Like, they're not that well designed. I mean, hell, Part 5 is one of the stupidest looking things I've ever seen. But what they represented to me was just something that I can't really put into words, and that's why they are my favorite artwork. Like, combined them all together, I just love the way they look. And if I really had to pick a favorite out of there, it would probably be the alternate poster to Part 4, which is the hockey mask with the blood and the knife in it and stuff like that. I've always thought that would be a cool tattoo, and I just like the image. So that's it for this top 10, guys. Sorry it was a little bit different this time, but I had no way of showing these, posters, because so many DVDs use these different posters that wasn't on the original VHSs or wasn't, the original theatrical posters. So I just did this video this way with just audio. I apologize. I'll be back to normal next week. Peace out, guys.